And we're back. We're back. We're waking up with Dee on News and Talk WAOK, the voice of the community. And I'm laughing now because I have a few friends. We have different groups of friends and people who listen to the show who just texting and saying, "Gee, who you're on fire this morning?" And I was like, "It's not that I'm on fire. It's that this morning I'm being truthful. I'm having a moment in which I want to just convey my feelings. I'm not complaining about the work that I do. I'm called to the work that I do in the community. What I'm talking about now and bringing to the attention of is don't criticize those who are doing the work if you're not working. Instead, get up and work with us. Let's all work hand in hand because we don't have the luxury right now as a people to criticize each other, to be at odds with each other, to not like each other when they don't like us. See, we can't not like each other when the oppressor, the dominant culture, when and I'm just gonna when they don't like us, when we already have systems in place, structural systems in place that are racist in all of its manifestations. We've got to be the ones who stand up and in the gap for each other. Because if people don't just the average person doesn't listen to news and talk. It's a special kind of person that likes news and talk radio. And I want to believe that this is the talented tenth, regardless of how different our ideologies may be from time to time. You may have some outliers that get on here and just acting a monkey. But for the most part, those who listen to talk radio are in the know. They know what's going on in the country. They know what's going on in their communities, in the states. And they can have a very good conversation with you on a mirage of topics, or as we say, a plethora of things. But does that equate to service? Does the rhetoric line up with the engagement in the community? And so this morning I'm challenging, not even challenging, because this is not something I'm gonna challenge people on. I am asking, I am almost begging and pleading with everyone to get involved some way or another. You don't have to be like me and over the top every organization because everybody's not called to that work. But you can start somewhere with something. It could be the Urban League, the NAACP, the Georgia Coalition for the People's Agenda, right? It could be a social group. It could be a Masonic order, Eastern Star. It could be a church group, something at the mosque. You've got to do something, and not just in your particular church or mosque or temple. I'm saying you got to go outside of the walls, y'all, because that is where our people are. The people who are hurting, the most vulnerable, are outside the walls. And my whole thing is if one falls, we all fall. If one is behind, we're all behind. We can't have this mantra or belief that me and my family doing all right, so everything in the country is good, right? We can't do that because you've got to wake up and look at what's happening day by day in this country. We have gotten to the point that brown people are walking around with papers in their hand lest they be deported. That means it's only a minute before black people are going to have to go back to what our ancestors had to go through with their papers in their hand. Uh-huh. to make sure. To see what they're going to do next is say, well, maybe some of you all, maybe some people who came over here from Africa on visa and you overstayed and you haven't gone back. So now we got to check you too. Hmm. And then when we see that these people, these young people who didn't have sense enough to know that a lot of this stuff was a trick with these stimulus checks and Trump with all this bravado and all this reality, TV stuff, when people won't have SNAP benefits in a minute come November 1st because they got to be working and all this other stuff, and then children are hungry. When people don't have health care because the subsidies are not too high, see, we got to pay attention to this stuff. Because if America catches a cold, what happens? Black people catch pneumonia and die. So am I preaching this morning? I don't know if this is called preaching. But what I do know is some of us who are in the work get justice fatigue because every day we're fighting for justice. And then while we're fighting for justice, that's fine. I don't mind fighting for justice, but I don't want to fight for justice and then hear other black people mouth complaining about what's not happening and they're not doing anything. For me, that's a lie. It's a lie. So I'm asking, I'm begging, I'm pleading today for people to get involved. Because every day I come here and I talk about this news. Every day we're talking about news. You can turn on any station and see that every single day this government has done one more thing that is egregious towards black people or people of color. Every single day. Even when I start doing the news later in the show, you're going to see that every news story, regardless of how we try to do positive story, try to move away from it, this clown, and yeah, even if I don't call him a name, this man who's supposed to be the leader of our country, the one who occupies 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, has done something more egregious the day before. And we're watching this play out in real time. And so he's throwing so much at us that many of us who are doing the work, it's hard for us to keep up. And then we're overextended because it's not one thing, it's all things. Like now, he's saying we're gonna those who have issues, disabilities, things that we covered in the school systems, in the Department of Education, you know, we're going to move that now to another agency potentially, maybe over to Health and Human Services. Now, why the hell would they do that when the little Bobby is running Health and Human Services and don't even have any sense, and they don't tell him what's feeding in his brain, what little mites and worms in his brain by the way he has already handled everything else? So then does that mean then our children who have disabilities who are in the school system are going to fall behind and fail because he has a woman that came from the the Worldwide Wrestling, over the Department of Education? What is happening here? Yeah. So I need y'all to do something. And if you don't know where to start, call me. I got plenty of organizations for you to do, plenty of work for you to do. And if you don't have the time, you see on time, then give your money. Put your money where your mouth is. I got plenty. Work for all of us. We could all get busy. Anyway, I'm going to go to break and come back with something more enlightening. And I'm going to start hitting some of the local news. We got tons of local news. We got tons of national news. But just know that I love y'all. And I love my people. There's nothing nobody can do about that. And I will go to war. And even though I don't like, confined spaces, I would even go to jail for my people because I've done it before and I'll do it again, but I don't want to because I don't that's not my thing. But I will fight to the end for us collectively. And that's all I got. And that is also on that, on that, on that. Okay, we're gonna go to break and come back. You're waking up with Dee on News and Talk, WAOK, the voice of the community.